Hi, I'm Laura. Welcome to Pretty Powerful Pandas, a mini-series where I'll walk you through the most useful, elegant lines of code in Pandas, whether you're just starting out or you want to level up your data game.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Pretty Powerful Pandas. For today's topic, we're going to look at something that makes pandas both readable and powerful, the index. We'll see how just setting the right index can clean up your code and make analysis easier. So what I've done is I'm just importing pandas as PD as always, and I've downloaded our Titanic dataset, and we just want to look at the top 5 rows. You will see that our top 5 rows actually have an index of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So just like Python, we have 0 indexing even in pandas. However, what we're going to do is use our indexing to help us slice away at our data frame to look at kind of a subsectional fit. So we use iloc, which actually stands for an index location, which is kind of the position based. So for example, if I wanted to do my data frame.iloc, and we use square brackets for this, and I wanted to take the second position down, you'll notice that's actually passenger ID number 3. That's this row here. So it's our second position of our rows. Bearing in mind we always start with 0. So 0, 1, 2. Our second position is actually our third row, which I know is a little bit kind of confusing sometimes, but as long as you're aware of that, then that's absolutely fine. So that's how we slice a single row, but we can also slice a few rows. And to do that, what we're going to do is our dataframe.iloc, again with our square brackets, and we're going to give a start and a finish. So our location here is we are starting at number 2, and then we've got 3, 4, and we cut off before we even get to number 5. So please just bear in mind that we have a start and an end, but it is not inclusive. Okay, so just like regular pandas, Python, when we slice, it is not inclusive of the end. So when we use .iloc, we've got from 2 up to, but not including 5. So that's how we can slice for that. We can also slice a row and a column if we fancy. So we go data frame.iloc. Let's go 2 and 8 and see what we get. So 2 is our second position down, so it's actually our third row down, 0, 1, 2, which is this one here. And then it's the 8th column over. So we've got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is our ticket. Okay, so it's actually the 9th column over. Again, because pandas is 0 based for locations, you've just got to make sure that you're aware of that. So that one there is this one here. Okay. And if you wanted to slice kind of a few different rows, so we can actually do our iloc, and you can do your number colon start end for both rows and columns. So obviously rows is our kind of 0 position or 0 dimension, so let's start with that. So if I wanted to do those, let's do some different passengers this time. 196 to 198, that's our rows that we're taking, and let's go for name up to fair. So that's 0, 1, 2, 3. So let's do 3 up to 9 and see what we get here. Oh, sorry, I didn't need to put those in extra column brackets. There we go. So I've got the index kind of indice position of 196 right up to but not including 198, and then I've got my columns from 3 to 9, which just so happens to be name to ticket, and that's what I wanted fair, didn't I? So I'm going to change that to 10. There we go, and add in fair. Now do you see how that's kind of helpful but also not helpful, because I wanted fair there but I didn't know which one that was, and yes, okay, I can just go and count my columns and that's fine, but what if I've got hundreds, thousands? We all work with kind of possibly millions of rows of data and columns, so we just got to be able to use a bit nicer. And that is where we can slice with something a little bit more meaningful, and we can actually set our index and then use something that's called, so slice with dot loc. And dot loc is when we are slicing with a location, kind of a label based. So iloc is position based and .loc is label based. So what we can do is we set our index. So we're going to take data frame, we're going to reassign data frame as a set index, and I'm going to set it for, just to make things easier, passenger ID. So now if we have a little look at our top 5 rows, there we go. So I've got passenger ID, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think that's kind of more intuitive. So let's see how we can go about and slice in about this. So if I use just data frame loc, not iloc anymore, and I go for the 3rd position, you see I've got the 3rd one down, which is Miss Alana. I'm not sure how to say that. Apologies. So we've got this one here, which is our number 3, which totally makes sense. Even though it's a kind of our iloc of 2, 0, 1, 2, it's still your index position would be the 3rd row down, which is number 2. But because we are looking at our new index, which is passenger ID, and I'm using location, .loc, sorry, which is a label based, it's using that index to actually help us here, which is much nicer. Again, we can do the same things as slice a few different rows, so we can do from 3 to 6, and you'll notice this time, because I'm asking for the location of 3 right up to 6, I get all of it. So when we do this, we've got start to end, but when I use .loc, it's inclusive of both. Okay, so that's quite a useful one to remember. Oh. Let's put that in a comment. Fabulous. And then what we can do is we can have a look at, let's go 196, what do we have, 199, let's go with those ones. And then I would like to slice these by name, and let's see what we get. There we go. So this way, instead of me counting along the columns and seeing, kind of trying to see what's going on, I can actually say, well, I want it from name. Let's go to fair. There we go. And that is so much easier when you know what your data is talking about and you just want to slice it a certain way. That makes life much, much easier. So that is .loc, which is a location-based kind of indexing or slicing, I should say. Okay, so what if I'd like to reset my data frame? So what we can do is data frame equals data frame dot reset index. Oh, it's because I can't spell. There we go. Okay, so data frame. So now if I call my data frame, just the first few rows, there we go, and it's exactly what you expect it to be. What if I fancied actually making name the index? So let's see if we can do that. Data frame equals data frame, and I'm going to set the index, and this time I'm going to set it as name. And let's sort it. So we're going to take the data frame and we're going to sort index. And again, let's look at our top few. There we go. You see, we have set the index as name and we've sorted it, which might just make whatever you're doing a little bit easier. Yeah. So if we wanted to search between people, you could slice again. Instead of this time, your data frame would have to be sliced between, let's say, Mr. Rossmore and, ooh, there's a space there. Let's go up to Mr. Samuel. Oh, there's lots of spaces there. Let's see what that gives us. Okay, I'll keep those in. And you see, because we are slicing by a location this time, a label base this time, we accept both the beginning and the end, and we can slice for that. So it's just a little bit easier, a way to manipulate everything. The last thing I want to show you is what if you wanted to slice it kind of a multi data frame. Let's see what that will be. So I'm going to slice with a multi, and it's going to be take our data frame, and we are going to let's reset index. Sorry, let's just reset our index, that's fine. And then from that, we are going to do data frame multi, that's better. And we're going to take our data frame and we're going to set our index, but this time we're going to set it into 2 pieces. We're going to set it as our P class and whether they survived or not. What have I done there? Oh, I can't spell. Permanently cannot spell. There we go. Okay. And here we go. We have reset it and we've got a double index going on here. So you can see the class and whether they survived or not. So yeah, that is slicing with index. So we've got our i.iloc, which is positional slicing, or we've got a .loc, which is a label-based slicing. But yeah, so have some fun with that.